Hi friends, so today is Friday, April 17th, and we still have two components of our success criteria. So in order to be successful today, you're going to be able to determine what a text feature is, and you're also going to have to determine the purpose of the text feature. So today we are going to go ahead and read the rest of the story together. So that is slides 8 through 11, pages 16 through 23. So I want you to go ahead and follow along with me. Remember, you can pause the video whenever I tell you a question. So whenever there's a question you have to answer, I'm going to tell you to pause. There are 3 questions that you will be answering today. So this is called making new seeds. Male pine cones make a yellow dust called pollen. The wind blows some of this pollen onto the open scales of the female pine cones. Soon the female scales close, trapping the pollen inside. When the pollen fertilizes the eggs inside of a female pine cone, new pine tree seeds start to form. So as we can see, these little dots of yellow, that's actually pollen. Okay, and that's the wind blowing the pollen around. So let's read the fact box. It says female pine cones can be fertilized by male pine cones on the same tree. So as we can see here, when we look at the illustration, we see the pollen moving around. So what can we learn from the illustration and the text on these pages? So that's question number 1. What can we learn from the illustration and the text on pages 16 and 17? I want you to go ahead and answer that question now. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, this is called flying free. When the new seeds are fully grown, the scales on the female pine cone open. In late October, these wing seeds begin falling to the ground. The long wing helps the seed float away from the shade of its parent tree. The seed needs plenty of sunlight to grow. So as I can see here in the illustration, the seeds are being dispersed by the wind. So that means they're being spread out. Let's look at the text box. It says, some female pine cones, such as those found on the jack pine and log pole pine trees, need heat to open. Forest fires create enough heat to open these pine cones and allow their seeds to fall out. So, question number 2, it says, what information can we find under the heading flying free? So there are 4 different choices. A, what male and female pine cones look like. So is that the information that we found in the text under the heading? B, the entire, B, so sorry, my friends. B, the entire life cycle of a pine cone. C, the female seeds dispersing to the ground. Or D, what happens to the pine cone in a forest fire. So look at those 4 choices and go ahead and pick your best choice now. All right, let's keep reading. The cycle begins again. After a long winter, pine tree seeds sprout in the spring. In time, they grow into tall adult trees. These mighty pines provide homes for animals. The long green branches give shade to hikers and campers on sunny days. During its life cycle, the shortleaf pine tree makes our world a more beautiful place to live. So here I see that the deer, because these pine trees give homes for animals, and I also see the hiker because the text said that they give the hiker shade. So let's go ahead and read the text box. It says most adult shortleaf pine trees are cut down for lumber when they are about 35 years old. It's hard to find a shortleaf pine tree that is more than 100 years old. However, a 314-year-old shortleaf pine tree was discovered in Arkansas not long ago. That's super cool. Now let's look here. This is called life cycle of a shortleaf pine tree. So it's a cycle. That means it keeps going. Okay, so the seed for 2 to 5 years, it's the seed. Then the seedling starts growing in 5 to 10 years. Then the sapling starts growing from 10 to 25 years. Then the mature trees grow from 25 to 150 plus years. And then as you can see, the seeds are dispersing and it starts all over again. So let's go ahead and read the fun facts. It says, one of the tallest pine trees in the world, named Boogerman pine, is still growing in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. This white pine stands 186 feet tall. Certain pine trees are endangered in some states. This means The trees are in danger of dying out or no longer existing. The shortleaf pine is an endangered tree in Illinois. Some farms grow pine trees that will become beautiful Christmas trees. In the United States, 500,000 acres, or 200,000 hectares, of farmland are used to grow Christmas trees. The longest pine cone in the world grows on the sugar pine tree. Some of these large female pine cones are up to 21 inches, 53 centimeters long. Sugar pine trees grow in the mountainous areas of the western United States. So here we can see a photograph of a short leaf pine forest, which I've seen these in Florida before, so I'm sure you have as well. Now here we have a glossary. So what does a glossary do? What is its purpose? It's to tell us what these words mean, and these are important words because they're in a different color. So glossary tells us what each word means. So if you come across a word you don't know, it's always important to go look in the glossary, and the glossary is found in the back of the book. So let's look at question number 3. Where could we find the meaning of the word lumber, and what does it mean? Go ahead and answer that now. All right, I hope you enjoyed reading the story this week. Tune in next week for some more videos.